I was 19 when I was diagnosed with large granular lymphocytic leukemia cancer. One day you're just finishing college, you're playing with your motorbike, hanging out with mates, a bit tired, a bit ulcers, but nothing that bad. And the next thing you know, you've been diagnosed with cancer. They give you lots of leaflets, about cancer and stuff, stuff from Macmillan and that sort of stuff. And they also give you a book that tells you everything about your cancer, and they're like, by the way, don't read the back pages. But of course you do. And there you are, a 19-year-old, and you've just been given a book that says end of life care. This cancer on average kills within 9 years, 10 years, that sort of thing. I think I was okay with it. I coped with it tremendously well at the time. I was Googling cancer jokes within like a week, because humour is how I deal with it. I wouldn't say consciously, but I just sort of do. I don't think I realised how much it would affect me in the future. When they gave me a chemotherapy tablet, this chemotherapy tablet would make me infertile. And I think at that point you're like, okay, this is going to affect me for a long time in the future. This is, okay, now I can't have kids the normal way. Which did affect me initially. Afterwards, you get used to it. It wasn't hell at the time, but it was very unpleasant, and it all becomes normal and natural. Over the next few years, let's say 4 years, this chemotherapy tablet on and off is making you quite tired, but you're sort of okay to do what you want to do. You can still go out with your mates, like to the pub, but you're not going to be running around like they are. You can't stay out as long as they are. And it's a massive thing over the years to understand people's emotions, because especially at that age, guys your age, don't understand that you have these restrictions, really what it is, how it affects you. That you're tired all the time and mouth ulcers all the time. In 2024, I started peeing blood. and that moment, you're thinking, I might have another cancer. I don't want another cancer. I've got one, I don't want another one. I then do a night in hospital where I get tremendous bone pain, and it's this bladder issue, just taking up my body's energy and sort of power to defend itself. So that tied in with the leukemia puts me in hospital. I get loads of ulcers, and my body's just not reacting to any meds I've been given. So they give me immunoboosters, and I then have at that point was the most painful experience of my life, was my body just being pumped with so many neutrophils and just it being shoved into my bone marrow, essentially, and I was in agony. I woke up from like 10:30 at night from a nap, and I called my brother, and I was just in so much pain. I was in utter agony, I was crying. And I hadn't cried for like 3 years, but this bone pain just broke me. Totally broke me. I was in agony. I was trying not to cry, but it just ruined me. So you think, first time peeing blood in September to last time in hospital in January, this is just a constant, this goes on for months. You are just in pain all the time, whether it's ulcers, thousands of blood tests. There's so many blood tests. They're pricking you and then you're ripping it off with a tape. You are in pain constantly for months and months and months, and then hell is just, they find another level to make it worse. Cancer just keeps doing stuff that you're not ready for, and it just keeps going. Cancer is all I've ever known, essentially. In my adult life, yeah. Yeah. The thing about Youth Cancer Trust is that I think when you first come to any social group, you're going to be a bit nervous. A lot of questions. Will they actually understand? Will they will I actually, meet some group of friends? What's it all going to be like? And I was quite a bit nervous, but your mind is put at ease by the tremendous people that run it, Laura, Joe, Wendy, because they're just so inviting, because they actually do care, and that they bring along this random collection of cancer people that understand. Because when you go through your cancer experience, the people closest to you can sort of understand, because they can come with you to every appointment and they can see what tablets you're taking, but they don't actually take the tablets. These people do. They actually take the tablets. They go through it. And so when you say, I went through hell and I did this, they go, oh yeah, I kind of did something similar. Yeah, it might be a totally different cancer, because all cancer is totally different. But to those who do struggle with isolation and it being on their own, that this place is immensely powerful in that, I think. You can explain your story about who you are, what you went through, how it affected you, who was involved, and instead of that must have been really tough for you, that's it, they can say that, yes, this is what I went through, this is my story. And there's that part of you that suddenly isn't different to everyone else's, it's the same. I think there's safety in numbers, I think, a more openness, more honest, because it's like, oh wow, all these people understand, all these people get a gist and more of a feel than far more than the average person of what I'm going through. For me, who's not very good at really opening up, that really talking about it, that uses humour as a shield, it's actually quite beneficial, because you then have that conversation and then you go, oh wow, I've learned a lot. I didn't realise how bad what I went through was. We're talking about sepsis. Every time I got a temperature, that was my body shutting down. Sepsis, if you have too long, if you have 12 hours, there's a 60% you'll die. If you have 24 hours, you will die. And I was like, oh wow, I've had that loads of times. I didn't even realise it was that bad. So talking about your journey and your cancer, even if they don't have your cancer, you can still come away and walk away with a better experience and a better understanding. The best thing that I've experienced at Youth Cancer Trust is the people that run it, Laura and Joe and Wendy. It's not just you're here, they can see you, they care about you. It's you go home, people go to all different ends of the country, and yet they still care. You're still in their mind. They still want to reach out. They still want to invite you back, because they know that the people that come on this trip have gone through some, awful stuff, and that they want to give back to them. They want to help them. They want to cater to every need in whatever they can, giving people experiences that otherwise they wouldn't have done. The isolating world of cancer can become slightly less isolating, and just a tiny amount helps, because the world of cancer is cruel, as anyone knows and anyone can see, but just to make it slightly brighter, even if it's just a tiny bit better, surely that helps, because it does, it really does. Coming away and meeting people, and that then they're caring, to make your group or for your circle of people that care slightly bigger, is just so immensely powerful and grateful, and that is just tremendous. If I wasn't able to come to Youth Cancer Trust, I'd be gutted. I really would be gutted. I thoroughly enjoy it. Because as I said, cancer is quite a miserable world. And I mean, the only way it's not miserable in my time is because I make pretty unpleasant jokes about it. But here it's like, everyone's like, it's almost like a celebration. It's almost like a party or a victory, because everyone's, we're all happy that we've just, that mutual understanding that we've passed it. that it's behind us. It's like a celebration that it's past.
And that's really interesting, because for you it's not past.
No, and I've been, this time, a bit quiet. Cancer is quite sad. You know, it's just inherently, because it's just so awful. And then you come here and everyone's quite positive and everyone's quite happy. No one complains, no one's ever miserable. I have never seen someone cry. I reckon if you go into like a real deep dark conversation, they'd be like, it's really hard, then they might be a bit emotional. I've never heard anyone be miserable. I've done this holiday 3 times and no one ever complains or miserable. Everyone complains, everyone's miserable about the weather, but no one complains about cancer. That's quite, at least here.